Well, hi everyone. Welcome to the Mobile Assistant Partner webinar with my super good friend, Tori Happy with Holistiplan. Tori, thanks so much for joining me today. Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Same. Happy New Year. I know that's
Yeah,
so cliche, but I feel like we haven't seen each other. So Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone out there.
yeah.
We are in the 300th day of January, so we're getting close to the end.
It feels like that too. We're in the deep freeze, just like I'm sure a lot of people that are on this today are in this cold that they've never experienced before. So we've got the minus 25 windshield too. So it feels like we're in Siberia. I'm in Madison, Wisconsin, for those that don't know. And Tori is in Texas, and believe it or not, gets some snow down there again this year.
Yep. Yeah, I moved to the South for a reason. It was supposed to be warm and cozy down here, and I have every year we've lived here, we've had some sort of ice or snowstorm. So it is not all that it's cracked up to be here in the South. Weather-wise, it's very chilly in the winter. I had no idea.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's get right to it. Okay, so we're going to be real conscious of everybody's time. I got a couple of housekeeping things just to mention. So the first thing is you might have heard it when we first started the webinar, but it is recorded, and so we record this webinar so that we can make it available to all of our awesome advisors out there that just don't have time today. So don't feel any pressure if you have a meeting come up or you just have to leave a little bit early. Don't worry, Tori and I are going to be happy to send you the recording so you can catch the entire presentation here with us at a later time whenever it's convenient. So that's the first thing. Second thing is our chat is open. And now what I mean by that is we have a wonderful person from our client experience team. Debbie Arnold is with us today. We're going to bring her on video at the end of this presentation to give us a little Q&A. And so if you have any questions that come up during the presentation with Tori and I, if we don't answer it by the end of our presentation, please ask the question and we'll make sure to get to it at the end. If we run out of time because we just have too many questions, no problem at all. We will get back to you by email, either Tori or I. So that's the third thing. Now the second or the fourth thing is the poll at the end. So at the end, if you don't mind hanging on for just a few minutes, we've got a very short poll. It allows us to get some information from you if you want us to get back in touch with you, either the Holistiplan team or the mobile assistant team. So that's all the housekeeping stuff. Now we can get into the good stuff. Okay, so Tori Westfall, I'm the CEO at Mobile Assistant. So great to be with you. Tori, give us your complete title with Holistiplan.
Yeah. I'm Tori Hoppy. Hi, everyone. VP of partnerships over here at Holistiplan. So I take care of all of your questions, comments, and concerns and take them back to the team and then build out these really great tech relationships that we have throughout the industry, like the one we have here today to show you guys with Mobile Assist.
Awesome, awesome. Now we do have some things to show you today. So I'm going to start a presentation in a few minutes, but I will start by just saying what a great time for this partner webinar with the Holistiplan, because I know that it's only January, but everybody is starting to think about tax time, and it is coming up. It's coming up fast. This couldn't be a better timing for this exact webinar because there are so many things that we're going to talk about today that I know are going to help the advisor network out there to just not exactly hit the easy button when it comes to tax planning, but we're going to give you some ideas and some workflows that we've created together with Holistiplan that I think make a huge difference to get you through that time period just in a little bit easier way, right? And so great timing. And so Tori, again, thanks for joining me. Let's get it going.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So what I always love to do with our partner webinars is to start by talking about technology and just the power of technology. One of my favorite quotes, I got this last year from Scott Hansen. He's with Allworth Financial. They're a great partner of ours. They've been using Mobile Assistant for years. And one of the things that he had been quoted in an article was that, a couple decades ago, advisors, you could have reached maybe 100 clients, and today it's 250 or 300. And the question is, like, why is that? Is it because your advisors are just working that much harder? Do they have more assistants that are helping them reach that many more clients? Really, the short answer is no, it's none of those things. It is 100% the technology that advisors now have at their disposal to help them service their clients and service more clients. It's an amazing time that we live, that there's so many different really tools that are available to the advisor network that makes this possible. So Tori, I thought that was a pretty amazing stat.
Yeah, and I love that, this advisor is really leaning into bringing technology in. When I first started in the industry, I was working for a large broker dealer, and technology was still very, very new in our space. And being able to come in young and, them handing me a paper file and being like, "Hey, file this or fax this over," and you're kind of looking at them dumbfounded, like, why are we still doing paper applications for clients? This is 2007. I mean, we have email, we have digital forms. Why is this still happening? So it's a testament to where our industry has been and where it's going, and just the power of innovation that's happening in our space. I think it was slow out the gate because companies were so nervous to adopt technology, but they are quickly picking up steam. I notice, again, advisors are bringing technology on faster, but those advisors also that are at a broker dealer also have the ability to get that technology a little bit faster because the firms are now comfortable with it. They're getting more comfortable with, AI and all of that good stuff. So I love that Scott has leaned into it and just the power that the technology has brought to his business.
Yeah, so I think that's great. And so Tori, like I think we can all agree on this call, like technology is really good when it helps you to be able to service more clients, right? And so what I always like to kind of go to next is, okay, so as the advisor out there that's on this call, so we just explained how technology is amazing and it's going to help you, and so where do you go, right? Well, Michael Kitces is a great voice in the financial advisory network, and he put together this list of different companies in the fintech space. Right now, what do you do with this? Right, as an advisor, okay, I need to now sort through this list of companies that are doing all these different types of amazing things for advisors to make their time go just be a little bit more efficiently used, right? And so it's really overwhelming. It overwhelms me. It like almost gives you some spots when you're looking at it now, because there are so many companies here. I know that Holistiplan and Mobile Assistant have been on this list for many years, and wow, has it changed, Tori? Like we went from just maybe 150 companies at one point to I think there's over 500 now. It's pretty astonishing.
Yeah, and I saw in the Q&A, Corey, a couple of advisors can't see your screen, so I can see it, but I'm not sure why. They hear your audio, but not your slides. But yeah, and what's funny is that your slide here is even the map from July of 2024, and there has been significant update even since then to this map. So with Kitsy's constantly updating it, you can just see how our industry is shifting more and more to technology. But I also think that what's really important too is not only is it uh, adding technology into your book of business, but you're not taking away from that human interaction. I think that is a huge talking point in our space. Advisors know that they need to implement technology. Their clients almost require it when they're coming to work for you or work with you. But you're still not losing that human element piece. Our business is still very much built on the human element and that human interaction. Money is a conversation that people don't want to have, with a chat bot. They want to make sure that someone is on the other side of that, still looking at it. But yeah, the map, I think, like you said, it has grown exponentially. I think the earliest map I could find is like March of 2018. Holistiplan is not even on that map. We did not come into the space till 2019. And there was maybe like 4 or 5 categories. Each category had 1 or 2 options. And now there's 10 plus categories with 5 or 6 options in it. So I understand the pain points that a lot of advisors go through while they're trying to figure out what technology best suits them, and what best suits you may not suit the advisor sitting next to you. So how do you decide what's best and what's not? You guys have a lot of hard work on your hands. And I know
Yeah.
like us technology companies don't make it easy for you.
Yeah, well, and I think that's a great point, Tori, that like back when there was only maybe 150 or 200 companies on here, it was a lot easier for advisors to identify which companies were working together, right? And so as there's been this abundance of new companies, a lot of startups. I mean, I'll just use our category, for example, like the client meeting support category. There were maybe 4 companies that included mobile assistant in there maybe 2 years ago, and now there's like, I don't know, 15 or something because of
Mm-hmm.
all the AI automation and all the note taking. And so what I definitely isn't lost on me is like for advisors to understand, well, what is the difference? And I think that for, especially for mobile assistant, it's never been more important for us to communicate the human in the loop, which is my new favorite acronym, by the way. In the last year, I've used that a lot, and it really just comes down to the best technology companies that are out there. They do have a component of the human in the loop that is part of the process, because if it's not and it's all automated, that's where you lose the accuracy. And so I'll definitely talk about that a little bit more today, a little later on. But want everybody to feel rest assured, we're not going to ask you to figure this all out today and figure out which companies are working together, which ones have the best integrations. What we're going to focus on today is the integration that we have with Holistiplan. And so just talking about how we've partnered together to try to really solve the problem of how to get the data accurately captured from you to be able to help with the Holistiplan templates. That's what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to be very specific, and so won't be very overwhelming at all. So Tori, why don't we start with Holistiplan and let you talk a
Yeah.
little bit for those that are on this call that maybe possibly aren't using your tool already. I'll let you just talk a little bit about your company and what you guys provide the advisor network out there.
Yeah. If you are new to us, welcome. If you are not, I hope that you at least pick up a new little tidbit here. But Plan is a tax planning solution for you, the advisor, to use with your uh, clients in your book of business. We feel that tax planning should be agnostic. So you should be doing tax planning with all of your clients out there. It's not just hey, I'm only going to do this for my high net worth clients. We all pay taxes down to your child's paperboy route. Um, my son was very upset when he learned about taxes and that he could be taxed on um, a medial job like that. So even at 11, he's already figuring out that he's going to have to pay taxes when he starts his first job. Now, do I think that an 11-year-old paper route needs tax planning advice? Probably not. But even those younger clients coming in to your book of business still need tax planning advice. I know when I started out on my first big kid job, I didn't know really what a 401k was. I just knew that I probably wanted to retire at some point in my life, so I needed to put in money to be able to retire. Um, I also knew that yes, there was some taxes that I was going to have to pay, but like how much and where does that money go and what is that money doing? I didn't know any of that. I didn't know what a dependent was, right? So these are conversations that young people need to have and need to have kind of help guide them through. But your high net worth clients also need that guidance as well. Pre-retirees and retirees are the ones that ask for this a lot, because those are where it starts to get a little dicey for them. Did we pay enough um, to be able to retire the way we want? Then, Magi comes into play when you retire. All of that Medicare Part B and D premiums start, affecting all of that planning. So, Plan is there to help guide you through those pieces with the client from early start to their retirement years. We also have now rolled out the ability to look at your client's property and casualty. We call it our risk assessment tool. So again, this all encompassing, hey, it's someone looking at my documents to make sure that I am covered properly. So we're able to look at home, auto, and umbrella insurance for your clients. It's very similar to the tax report. You're uploading those declaration pages into the system, and the system will be able to read those documents and spit out a report to tell you if they are covered properly. Red being, hey, there is a disparity that you need to look at. Yellow being, hey, it's okay right now, but you may need to look over it in the future. And green means like we're good to go on this particular item. No changes need to be made. So we're quickly becoming a platform used for advisors. So dealing with their tax planning, their risk assessment, and then come mid 2025, we will also have the ability for you to do estate planning. So estate planning will be able to allow your clients to upload their trust documents into the system, and then you will be able to review that document, make sure that everything is aligned properly and how they want that document to read. Get this question a lot. Will we be creating document estate documents? We will not. We just want to analyze the document, and then you can take that to your estate attorney that you work with and in-house or whoever you work with. So we are really wanting this to become a platform of information that you are collecting for the client, making sure that they understand that someone is looking at these pieces. Tax planning, estate, and risk management are huge holes and gaps that the client knows they need and they want, but they're not actually getting the coverage and the eyes on it that they need. So that's kind of how Holistiplan will fill those voids for you. We have about 40,000 users on the platform that use it for tax planning already. We allow, the advisor really drives our technology. We allow them to be able to work with all of their clients without adding much hours of extra work, right? We know that tax planning is hard. We know that a lot of advisors aren't doing it because they don't know where to start. And we give you, the advisor, kind of an easy button, if you must, to start the tax planning for your clients.
Yeah. So Tori, that's so great. I'm gonna tee up a softball question for you, but I think it's important.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is like, how, as an advisor, like how do they trust that the accuracy of Holistiplan? Like, why would they put that trust in? Because it's so important, right? We're talking about tax documentation, tax planning. It has to be right. So how do
Yeah.
they put that trust in you guys?
Yeah, so with our capabilities, I know there's a lot of talk out there, AI versus OCR. We use an OCR technology, so our technology is taught with more and more uploads. So we have read millions of pages of tax returns, so our system just gets smarter with every read. If there is any sort of flag or it doesn't look right, it automatically is kicked out to an actual live human, and our success team goes through that return ender for you. And then once that data is manually entered by the team, it reruns it so that it's kind of like a third check, right? So making sure that the data input that the human put in was also correct. So we always joke, our system has about a 99% accuracy rate. The ones that do get kicked out are handwritten returns. So yes, it is 2025, and yes, we still get handwritten returns scanned in, and then any copy of a copy of a copy. So like just unclear copies are the ones that usually get kicked out. But most of the times it's that handwritten return that someone filled in and they can't, not legible.
Yeah. So Tori, that's one of the things that I've always appreciated so much about Holistiplan, the idea that it's an evolving tool, that it's not just an out of the box, like this is how good it's going to be today, versus a year from now. I love the fact that it learns and it gets better, because as you know, like the tax code out there doesn't stay the same, right? Every year
Right.
there's something new that advisors have to learn. And so because Holistiplan is continuously learning, I think that's a huge aspect of why there's such a value in the trust level that advisors have with you guys.
Hmm. Yeah, and I mean, we wish that the tax code stayed didn't change year to year, but it actually changes like almost every day at this point. So our team is constantly updating the platform for it to be updated. So if there's a new tax code that rolls out, our team has it in the system within 48 hours of that new tax code being out. So again, technology is wonderful, but you still need that human element to make it run the way you want it to run.
Yeah, yeah. So you didn't use my acronym, but you kind of stole it
Yeah.
already. That the human in the loop. It's never been more important than it is right now. When it comes to the combination of technology and the human in the loop capacity of companies to make sure that the accuracy is where it needs to be. So love that, and that's why we're such a good fit, Tori. It's like that
Yeah.
we both of our companies definitely understand the need for the human in the loop. And so thanks so much for that. I know there was a lot of information on the previous slide, but since we'll make this available for everybody afterwards, so you guys can take more time to read through it. But now what I'll do is just talk a little bit about Mobile Assistant and how we work with Holistiplan, because this is where what the real value of this webinar is really all about, is to understand how exactly Mobile Assistant is going to be an add-on with Holistiplan to make it even more efficient for you. And so I always like to start with a nice elephant fun fact, right? Like, elephants never forget. I've been asked this so many times in my career. Mobile Assistant has been around for 14 years now in the financial industry, which is amazing. The elephant has been a staple. It's all we have rebranded a couple times, but one of the things that never left was the imagery of the elephant, because who doesn't love elephants, first of all? But it really is like perfect for what we do as a company, and that the elephant really never forgets. And so what do we use for those of you on the call that aren't familiar with Mobile Assistant? We are used to document your insights, your perspective, and your context from client interactions. Now, that's a really important differentiator between us and like some of these AI note-taking companies that have hit the scene in the last year. The idea that you can turn on an app and record a conversation, and that's all the data that you're going to capture. It misses the human in the loop, which is you, the advisor. Like, your perspective, your insight is incredibly important, and so advisors utilize us after the interaction or after the meeting is done. It's an important distinction because of the type of data that you're going to be using Mobile Assistant for. That's, to me, that's the foundation. It's getting your insight and your context, your perspective. It's incredibly important, and we're going to do it in a way that is going to match what Holistiplan does as far as accuracy. We're over 99.6% accurate with our notes. And now the only way that we're able to do that is because of the human component. But before I go into the templates and how Mobile Assistant has worked and partnered with the Holistiplan, I do want to talk a little bit, Tori, about just the importance of good data in, because this has definitely been one of the things that I have talked about so much in the last couple of years, is that having the foundation of accurate data is where all of the technology that gets implemented across the board for advisors, it has to start with that. If you don't start with accurate data, then what happens? The outcomes aren't going to be trusted anymore. They end up not being accurate, and it's an incredibly important aspect of what we do as a company, is we set the foundation of accurate data to be used by Holistiplan, to be used by any of the different technologies that you're going to implement on that important meeting note data that it begins with. So.
Yeah, and again, we know that data runs your books of businesses. We know like you need to see where everything lies. The way we as technology company looks at data is a little different than an advisor looks at data. But that accuracy matters, right? If you have something as simple as a wrong address and you're trying to send your client a birthday card, and it bounces back. Like it's important to know, you know, did the client move? Did we update our systems to remind us that they did that move, right? So it could be
Yeah.
simple data like that, but it also, your tax data needs to be really clean to make sure that you're making the most thoughtful um, assumptions for the following year. So I know like data can be great, but like if it's not clean data, then it's not good data.
Yeah, well, and when we're talking about tax planning data, you're talking about a lot of numeric data, a lot of monetary um, numbers that have been put into the meeting notes. That it's incredibly important that a human being actually is the one that is going to transcribe that, and it really just gets down to that it isn't worth the chance of one of those values being wrong and being put into a tax plan that can be kind of disastrous for clients. And so it's all about the accuracy for sure. Now, when we talk about the accuracy, Tori, like for us, it's all about the human in the loop. We have almost 100 transcriptionists throughout the country, and all they do, they're 100% their job, their focus is on financial advisor transcription. They listen to advisor dictation, they transcribe it in a way that is just unmatched by any type of software out there. It's just the robots just have not quite taken over yet. When it comes to the dictation that advisors are submitting to us, you're only able to achieve the accuracy of 99.7% with human beings that are going to be the ones processing this data. And so it is the foundation. And we're a US based only company, which means the data doesn't leave the States. It stays here. And it is the foundation that you're starting with when it comes to all of your meeting notes. And so that's what our people do just an amazing job of. And I always lead with that because as much as I love to show the technology and love to show our Talk It app and all the different things and features and innovations we put into it, at the end of the day, the most important aspect of Mobile Assistant are the people. And they're the ones behind the scenes that are going to make sure that your notes are going to be returned in a really accurate way. So let's talk about the app. So Talk It is the name of the mobile assistant app. And Talk It was created as a way of just making it easier for advisors to capture all that important meeting note data. And so we built into it a template system. And the templates are really a guide through the process. Tori, you had mentioned that Holistiplan is really providing that for advisors, a guide through the tax planning process. Well, that's what the templates do at Mobile Assistant. We're providing a way for advisors to have templates for every different type of meeting that they have. So think about annual reviews. There's specific questions that advisors want to make sure that you answer after every annual review. Well, you can have a template for that. Now, we also, from working with Holistiplan, we have two templates that are put into place that are the Holistiplan Tax Planning Review and the tax requests. Those are two forms that are really important with the Holistiplan process. And so we've done the work of creating those templates, putting the questions in these templates so that you're prompted and have a guide through the process of getting the data in an accurate way that can be fed directly into Holistiplan that is going to be able to take that accurate data and do those amazing things with it within the Holistiplan program.
Yeah, and I love the simplicity of the templates that we built, right? We tried to make it as easy as possible for the newer advisors coming on board with tax planning. So annual reviews are always a great way to kick off that need and want, but then the request for the tax return. We know that you've got many clients that you have already met with or are already they're not a new client, so you want to request their tax return. So being able to quickly send them you know being able to dictate a very simple request to them and being able to upload that in um, to your CRM or your email and get it out to your clients quickly and efficiently. I thought was key when we were building those templates out for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and it really, the templates opened up a world of partnerships for us as a company because it allowed us to work with companies like Holistiplan to look at how advisors are using the program, what is the data that's needed to really run the engine and to get that process started. And so that's why these two templates were designed, is with that in mind, is okay, what's the data that the Holistiplan needs from the advisor? Okay, let's create those templates and make it the process incredibly easy for you to capture the right data and do it in an accurate way. And so that's one of the things that I love about this template feature. It's incredibly simple, but the idea is very, very straightforward, which is we're going to put guardrails on the process so that you're going to get the data that you need and get it accurately documented in a way that you couldn't have done before. If you would try to just hit a record button and try to remember everything, it's a lot more difficult, right? So we're just going to give you a guide through the process to just make this really the capture of the data super easy. Okay. So I did put a quick little video in here just to show everybody what the process looks like. So let's go ahead and run it. So I'm going to go into the Talkit app and I'm going to navigate away from the record section right to the assistant feature at the bottom. And by selecting the template for Holistiplan, the questions are now going to be displayed in the app as I'm recording. So as I'm recording right now, I am saying tax observations discussed, scenario analysis created. I'm going to say the question and I'm going to answer it. So you're going to make sure that you're going to get the right data and the right questions answered for this specific Holistiplan template that you're going to be using. So, Tori, I think what we found is that advisors just love the idea that if they say the question, it's going to show up in the final transcript. And so we just simply did the work of creating these templates based on the data that's in those forms that you guys require. It just makes it easy so nothing slips through the cracks.
Yep. Yeah, and I think too, when you go to create that, if this is a new household for you in Holistiplan, going over to create that new household, now you have all of that data right in that transcript, so you could, copy and paste it over, or type, hand type it over, but it's quicker, right? You're not having to fumble through your notes from your meeting. You're looking back at your CRM. It's all there in that transcript to easily copy over and get it into Holistiplan.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. And for those of you that have never used Mobile Assistant, wonder, okay, how do these notes actually get delivered back to me? So we are going to email them back. You're going to email them back to you, the advisor that's dictating, or also copy in as many of your support team that you'd like. So if you have multiple people on your team that you want to receive a copy of your notes, we'll send them a copy as well. We're going to deliver it into the notes section of the Talkit app, which if you look at the screen again and I'll take you through what it looks like in the My Notes section. So here I can start typing the name of the contact. It'll pull up the last previous note that I dictated, and here's the note to be able to be accessed right within the app. Now this is important because as you're on the go, you're having multiple meetings a day, you can very easily find the information from your last meeting and you can pull it up within a few seconds just to refresh you what exactly you talked about at the last meeting. Like in this example, what were your year-end objectives? And you'll notice that everything is time and date stamped. So that's a big part of what Mobile Assistant has built over the years is we have a compliance document that is available for you when we send this to you. Everything is time and date stamped and it's on file with us and archived if you ever need it. And so that's where the notes are going to be delivered for those of you that are CRM users. So we have a really great integration with multiple CRMs out there. For those on the call that are using Redtail, a great example of how the information is going to go from Mobile Assistant and the templates into Holistiplan. It goes through Redtail. And so Tori and I have, we talked about this where there was at the beginning when we first talked about our partnership with Holistiplan, there was an idea that, hey, maybe these notes need to be sent directly to Holistiplan. Well, what we really found out very quickly is because of Holistiplan's integration with Redtail and Mobile Assistant's integration with Redtail, that's where the data needs to go. And so the process of getting the information populated to Holistiplan, it goes through Redtail, which is where we're going to populate the notes. So hopefully I said that all kind of right, Tori.
Yeah, and I think we have learned as a company and even as an industry, your CRM is the heartbeat of your business. We know that. So we want to make sure that all of this clean, great data is living in your CRM. So being able to use the template, have it upload into the client's household, in Redtail. And then if you need to create or you need to update information in Holistiplan, it's a quick click from there. So we know that that CRM integration is important. We know like that is the catalyst to get data where it needs to be. So it only made sense that, you know, the integration go direct through the CRM because no one wants to put notes in twice.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And you made an important remark there, which is how is the information put into the contact record directly? One of the things to remember as a mobile assistant user, it's driven by contact name. All you have to do for us to match these notes with the contact record in Redtail is to say and spell the contact name at the beginning of every dictation. So if I start with John Advisor and spell the name, we are going to enter these notes into that contact record in Redtail. And then from there, that's where Holistiplan can take it from there. So I'm glad you mentioned that, Tori. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, one thing to before we start to wrap up here, one of the things that we did as a company is that we recognized that it wasn't enough to just have templates available for individual advisors to use and individual advisors to customize and create. Now, even though you can, as an individual advisor, you can create as many templates as you'd like, okay? But for those of you that are on this call today that are part of a team, this is where the power of the Assistant Template Manager comes in. Now, we created this specifically so that organizations could not just customize their own templates, but they could share them with the entire team. Now, great example are the Holistiplan templates. By using this program, we can have those Holistiplan templates automatically put into your Talkit account. So when you log into Talkit to utilize our service, you're going to see those templates. They're going to be automatically loaded. But you don't have to stop there. If you have additional templates that you really want to use and you want to make them available for everyone, we can do that using the ATM. Super simple. We set you up with an admin and you create the templates and you simply share them to the team. It's a way of us helping you to distribute and customize the standardization of the data. Because it's one thing to have an advisor on a team that does things a certain way when it comes to meeting notes. I tell you, the power of having all advisors using the same annual review template, for instance, it's incredible. It makes it so much better that that data comes back to the organization in a way that's standard and structured and accurate. So ATM, it's available. If anyone is interested to use it for your team, you just got to let us know. And Tori, this is the mobile assistant list of our partner network. I know that if I had put all of the companies' logos on here that Holistiplan works with, there's no way we'd be able to read it because it would be I have 1,000 of them on
It
here.
would be Kitsis 2.0.
So these are just a few of the firms. I think the reason why I just wanted to show this to everyone is, Mobile Assistant and Holistiplan we really have worked really hard over the years to create these partnerships, and these partnerships are in place so that we can service all the advisors out there and be able to do it in a way that you can trust that we're a compliant solution. Mobile Assistant, just like Holistiplan, we go through the assessments with all these companies to make sure that you as the end user understands that we are protecting your data. And so just kind of an important reminder that's what we do as our companies. Is one of the most important things that we do is to make sure to secure your data. Now, Tori, I wanted to put this on here. I have the really fancy QR codes, but if anyone is interested in learning more about Mobile Assistant, just go to our website. Really important. It's a free trial that's available. You can sign up for the free trial and use us for free for, I think it's about 20 minutes of dictation time. And not just that, but we will put the Holistiplan templates in your Talkit app, even for your trial. So great way to learn more about us. We've got some great training videos on there as well. So you can go to the website and check this out. And so Tori, it looks like I think holistiplan.com would be a good resource for you guys as well.
Yeah, if you guys want to connect, info@holistiplan.com will get you in contact with the team. I'm always available on Twitter or X, whatever we're calling that platform at this point. At Tori Hoppy is my handle on both sites. So I got real lucky. No one had my name. So yeah, please connect, DM. I'm open to chat. But yeah, info@holistiplan.com will also get you in contact with the full team here.
Yeah, that's great. And Tori, I will say, like, LinkedIn has been my networking tool of choice for years now, and I feel like I'm using it. It's one of those few social media networks that I'm actually using it way more now than I did 5 years ago. And so, if anyone wants to connect with me on LinkedIn, please, I'm easy to find. I'm really one of the only Corey Westfalls out there, but just look for the elephant. You'll be able to find me very easily. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop the screen share here, and we're going to go ahead and bring on Debbie. So Debbie Arnold is so great. She works on our client experience team. If you call and want to talk to someone and learn more about mobile assistant, it's a good chance you're going to talk to Debbie. So we're going to go ahead and start her video, and she's been patiently waiting in the background, listening to Tori and I here, and taking notes and seeing if there are any see if there are any questions that we can answer that have come up throughout the presentation. So, hi, Debbie.
Hi, everybody. You guys got so many great questions. Actually, I had to stop here at question number 19, but in total, we have 21 questions on the board. So some really, really good questions. A couple you guys did cover, but I'm going to start with one that was a repeat question by 3 people. And that's asking about other CRMs that we integrate with. Specifically, Wealthbox was mentioned 3 times. So we'll start with that one.
Yeah. So I mentioned Redtail specifically. Redtail is our biggest partner, but we integrate with Wealthbox, we integrate with Salesforce. And so if you have a CRM within your organization that we don't integrate with, it is very possible that we can work with the development team to actually have them connect to our open API. It's something that's a little technical, but the open API is something we introduced last year. It just allows organizations to pull the data from Mobile Assistant and put it into any technology platform that you like. So when it comes to CRMs, we really have become agnostic. It does not matter what CRM you use. If you have a team that wants to pull the data and put it into your CRM, you pretty much can be using anything. But yeah, specifically, Debbie, Wealthbox, great integration with them as well.
Yeah, and we have the same integration with Wealthbox too. So I know that Wealthbox was asked. So yes, we integrate with Wealthbox as well. And it's basically a mirror image of what the Redtail integration does. So like Corey said, we were using Redtail as the example, but anything that we talked about for Redtail applies to the Wealthbox integration.
Yeah, same for us. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, so now I'm going to start at the top with the first question coming in. This person asked if estate planning, what are the estate planning features coming mid 2025?
Oh, sorry. I think my computer froze for a hot second there.
Yeah.
I think the question was about if estate is included. So with the new pricing, it depends if you are a current user or not. If you have rolled over to our household pricing, state taxes is now included on our premium option there. If you have not rolled over to our household pricing and are still on the upload pricing, state reporting is $299 annually to get added on. So if you've got questions around like that, email in if you are a customer already, support@holistiplan.com, so we can look at your account to figure out where it should be. And then I believe there was also a question in there about the insurance risk management tool. So kind of the same thing applies. It depends on where you're sitting. If you're a current user and haven't rolled over, it is an add-on. But if you have rolled over to the new household pricing at 150 households or above on the premium, it is included. So I know that doesn't give you like a solid answer, but I don't know like where you're sitting on if you're a user or not, and if you have updated or not. So please email in support@holistiplan.com and we will absolutely take a look at your account and see if we can get those added for you.
Yeah. Tori, that's great. And one of the things, just to kind of add on, and not that I have any information about tax planning, but when it comes to client experience teams, so This is one thing that I always encourage advisors to do, which is don't try to figure all this out on your own. Holistiplan and Mobile Assistant both have amazing client experience teams that have worked with thousands of advisors over the years. Tori mentioned they have 40,000 advisors using their platform. Well, that means that they have 40,000 examples of how to best use Holistiplan. And so leverage those resources at the companies, especially for those of you just that want to learn more about Mobile Assistant Holistiplan. That's what we're here for. Our teams are ready to do some individual coaching sessions if you'd like. But it's the best technology companies out there have the best people supporting them. And so please leverage our teams, please.
Yes, please do.
Okay, next question. Is the PNC component part of the original offering, or do we need to add on a different subscription?
Yeah, so that's the insurance risk tool I was telling you about. Again, I don't know where the user sits. If you're a current or a new subscriber, or you've rolled over to the household. So please reach out. If you are a current user and have rolled over to households and you're on a premium package, it will be included. But if you are still sitting on the uploads, it is a add-on feature. So reach out to the team, support@holistiplan.com, and we'll dig into your account and figure out how we can get that added for you.
Okay, I'm skimming over these. A lot of these are similar questions about the different CRMs. Here's a new one. If I have a meeting note document in OneNote, can I have it uploaded to that document?
If they're using OneNote is a
Oh.
software that some advisors use to take meeting notes. That information could be put into the CRM, for instance, where you could then use that to access and get it to Holistiplan. The one thing that I'll mention is that the difference between Mobile Assistant and like a OneNote is the people. It's the human in the loop part of the processing. So when a note is captured using Talkit and it's delivered to Mobile Assistant, there's a reason why it's not delivered back within seconds. It's because we have human beings that actually process the notes. And so there's a trade-off. It comes back, it takes a little longer to get the notes back, but when you get these notes back, unlike a OneNote that you have to spend a bunch of time editing and cleaning up, you're not going to have to make any changes to the Mobile Assistant notes because they're going to be incredibly accurate. So. And Debbie, I'm going to take one here that I mentioned too, about templates. So the question was, are there additional templates that are available? And the answer is absolutely. So just like what I had mentioned, where that Holistiplan has worked with so many advisors over the years that they know what works. Mobile Assistant has worked with thousands of advisors and thousands of advisors creating templates. And so we do have templates that are on file that work really well for a lot of advisors that are new to our service. And so all you have to do is email us at support@mobileassistant.us and ask for additional templates to be loaded. And we can add an annual review on there. We can add, I know there's a phone call template. There's different templates that we've designed for advisors that we're happy to share with anyone that's interested if you don't want to have to create it from scratch. And that being said, when it comes to templates, Holistiplan templates, they won't show up automatically in your account. All you have to do is email us again at support@mobileassistant.us and just ask us to add the Holistiplan templates. And next time you log in, they'll be right there for you to use.
And to kind of piggyback on that, if you are both users of both platforms and you're like, hey, we would love a template created around a Roth version or whatever the case may be, please send us those ideas. I am not an advisor. I talk to advisors all day long, but when we were creating the templates, I was going based off like the information that I know, but I don't work with clients every day. So if you guys are like, hey, this would be really, really helpful, please let us know and we'd be happy to build those templates. This is just a starting off point. There will be other templates in the future, but we would love to hear from you guys exactly how you want those templates to look and feel.
Awesome. What do you think, Debbie? We have
another question?
Yeah, let's go one more question. How about? And we'll let everybody out a little early today.
Okay, then I'll go with the last question is, will this presentation be available? There was a couple people who weren't able to connect to Zoom or see the presentation. Will this be available to them afterwards?
Yeah, so 100%. So we did record this, and so we'll send it out, and we'll also send it out to everybody that had registered with the slide deck. I'll put that as part of our follow up, and we'll make sure to get that to everybody. And so again, really easy to sign up. There's no special thing you have to do for our integration to work with Holistiplan, which is kind of the beauty of our partnership, is that there isn't some special connection that has to be done. When you have Holistiplan and you sign up with Mobile Assistant, when you use those Holistiplan templates, that's the information that's going to get delivered that Holistiplan can use. So really simple, really easy way of just really making the process more efficient. So great. Well, Debbie, thanks so much for giving us some questions. I love it when I'm doing these webinars with someone that I know can't be stumped. And like, I don't think thered be a list of question you could ask Tori that she wouldn't know. So, so thanks,
You
Tori,
put
so
the
much
bar
for
too
joining me.
high. Thank you. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So everyone, thanks so much for joining us today. This has been great. We will have a nice follow up here to you here within the next couple hours. So if you happen to leave a little early, we'll make sure to get you all the information. So thank you so much. Have a great beginning of your year, and hopefully the beginning of tax season goes really, really smooth for you. As long as you're using Holistiplan and Mobile Assistant, I think it'll make your life a little easier. So thanks everybody for joining. Thanks so much, Tori, for joining me today.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.